That person that I mentioned ended up losing his properties to foreclosure because he didn't know that this existed. And other than dropping the price, and in his case, taking quite a loss, the myth, right? A lot of people think they need to have a W-2 and tax returns, or even Social Security income, disability income, and go through this very paperwork intensive process. And a lot of times they don't qualify. The truth is that's for traditional bank loans. The 5-step fast forward system doesn't require that you even put where your income comes from. We don't even ask. So therefore, we don't ask for tax returns or bank statements to verify your income. Sometimes we don't ask for bank statements at all because we want to make this what's called a no income and a no asset loan, and even a no loan payment loan, which we're going to talk about. So no employment of any kind. Your property's appraised value is what matters, not your paperwork. So I have to take my home off MLS to get a loan against it. That's myth number 2. Traditional banks do have this rule, which is exactly why so many homeowners in your situation get turned away if they've listed within 12 months or it's on the market and it's not selling. They cannot get cash with a traditional bank. The 5-step fast forward system was built specifically to lend on properties that are actively listed for sale. We actually love that. It's listed for sale or listed for rent and it's vacant. That's perfectly fine. It stays active the entire time. And if a buyer or a tenant comes along, you simply pay the loan off if you sell it, and no prepayment penalty, no lock-in. That's great. All right. So this kind of loan is only for professional real estate investors. That's myth number 3. It is not true. Every competitor in this space markets exclusively to flippers, builders, and landlords, which is exactly why you haven't heard about this. If you are a regular homeowner or property owner and you never find out this exists, you don't need a track record under $500,000. And so for a lot of people, especially if you're in Nashville, which is one of our main markets, but any of these markets across 45 states, you don't need any investment experience. That's amazing. You don't need a real estate portfolio. You don't even have to have owned the property, but for just a few days, which is a niche all by itself, because if you inherit a property yesterday, or if you take title to a property yesterday, that is perfectly fine. That's amazing, because most banks require that you're on title for 6 months, where we don't. If you are in pain and you need cash, we have built this for you. If you own a vacant 1 to 4 unit property in a major metro with equity in it, you could likely qualify today. And so introducing the 5-step fast forward system, it's super simple. It's built specifically for owners of vacant 1 to 4 unit residential properties on less than 10 acres who need cash out fast without all that bank paperwork and all that income tax returns, without worrying about all their debts on their credit report. And they don't have to pull their home off the market if they've already put it on the market. Again, if you haven't, it's even better, because you should work with us and get an appraisal first. So the 5 steps. Number 1, you just request a free quote. Tell us about your property. Same day, we'll let you know what we think and how much you can access. We order the appraisal for you. A licensed local appraiser. It's just at cost. You pay for it with your credit card. We send you a hyperlink. And they go visit the property, they take some photos, and they let everyone know on the proper bank forms what that property is worth. That's a neutral, licensed opinion. And normally they let us know how much it would sell for or rent for within a certain time frame. So it's really great information for you and your agent to have before you go on market. Underwriting review. We have in-house underwriters, no tax returns, no W-2s. We review the property and just a couple minor things which we take care of for you. And so then you sign the loan agreement. That's step number 4. And step number 5, the funds are wired to you. So very easy. So number 1, request your free quote. Reach out today, share the basics about your vacant property, and our internal team sends back a loan quote with usually the same day or within 24 hours. Because if you do a call late in the evening, it might be the following morning if we're closing up for the night. So no long application. It's not your normal bank application. It's very simple. And we actually pre-fill it out for you if you want to move forward. It's completely no cost to move forward other than just paying for that appraisal, which is something that you would want to have anyway. When you take care of step number one today, if you book a call today, we do give you a $250 credit for doing that if you book during this webinar. And so the guessing game stops the same day that you reach out, right? So you don't have to worry anymore about potentially even having loan payments at all. Zero payment. Imagine that. Plus $500,000 wired into your account, plus all your liens paid off on that property. How much better would you feel? So please contact us for same day clarity. Zero cost, zero obligation. Number two, right? I said that we order the appraisal. When you send an appraisal, we send you an appraisal payment link directly to your phone or email. And again, it's a licensed local appraiser who visits your property when you tell him or her to go on out, and they determine the market value. And so they're not guessing. They actually get paid a couple $100. They're swearing and going to court. That's what that property should sell for or rent for. And so that's why we like that, and you should like that too. And you don't have to share that with anyone. You could still list a lot higher, of course, but then you'll have plenty of money and breathing room to let that right person come along and pay that top dollar. And so this appraisal is on proper forms, and it's not something that your listing agent or that you can order. You cannot. If you call an appraiser and ask for an appraisal, and it's from you as the property owner, they put it on a different form. Some of the ways that they look at it are actually different because it's for a different client, which is actually the homeowner or the property owner. And so it might not be right or top dollar because it's on a different form. We want it on the proper forms. Okay. So the only independent valuation your property can actually receive is if we order it and then send you the link and you pay for it. Now, of course, knowing your true value helps you know exactly what your property is worth in the current market conditions, regardless of what you decide to do next. If you follow us on, you will see that we have been talking about in our shorts markets that are declining as much as 15% in the next 12 months. If you're in a softening market, time really does matter. On the other end, if you're in a market that might be going up, time also matters, because if you don't sell this summer and you end up selling next summer, you could make more money. And having no payments and a whole bunch of cash would let you do that, and a strategy instead of just guessing. So no bias. Like I said, as a correspondent lender, we're the only ones that can order this, or a lender, right? And so this is factually based, this particular appraisal that we get, and it's not your agent's opinion. It's not anyone's personal opinion. It's a factual licensed real estate appraiser. So number three, underwriting review. Moving Forward Properties has an internal underwriter on staff. In fact, we have two of them, which means no waiting weeks or months, no surprises really late in the game. Some people wait 3-4 weeks, and it's a paperwork nightmare and it's an uncomfortable situation. That is not us. We have a 5-step fast forward system on purpose. And step number 3, which is on day number 3, is underwriting starts. And then when the appraisal comes in, we look at that, check that the value is there. Of course, you get a copy of it. And if there's rents in there too, we look at those, and then you know what it could rent for. So also it tells you if it's declining, if value is going up or down, if the market's stable, if it's going to sell in probably 90 days at that value. This is really a valuable thing to come to us and have ordered. The review covers the appraisal report. We talk about property insurance. Some people in like California and Florida and other pockets, they have a vacant property and maybe they did some construction and they might need different insurance. We actually have some great firms that do it for less expensive and faster. And the reason that's important is because a lot of times that's like the last piece to getting a loan, but then it ends up kind of hanging up things during underwriting. And we completely take care of that if you want us to. That's really important for you to know. It's a secret proprietary working with us. Basic property documentation, like we order your title and your escrow. If you have someone, we'll work with them. If you want it to be our vendors, we'll work with them. It's all about speed and making this so easy for you. So again, number 3 in underwriting, what it means, no hassle, basically, no W-2, no tax returns, no surprises. This should be easy. No income docs, debt doesn't count, fully transparent. So real results, from real homeowners and property owners just like you. 9 out of 10 bridge loans with us, they close, which is why we love offering them. And we want everyone to know that they exist for regular people with a vacant property and, of course, real estate investors. So 9 out of 10 close. Yay. In the conventional world, just so you know, 3 out of 10 loans close in today's market. So that means that 7 people wait 4 weeks to get told no. In our case, one person might wait 3 days to hear from our underwriter. And we might need to let them know that, I don't know, there's something completely out of the norm, but 9 out of the 10 get the money. And so our loan officers are very good. Ours are very good. And our 5-step fast forward system is very good. And so 95, or I like to say 9 out of 10, receive their money in 14 days. That's amazing. So if you book a call today on June 13th, 2026, you could have your money this month, everything paid off, no loan payments in July, the whole year. It would be amazing for you. So 23 years of experience. Most of our clients had no idea this option existed until they found us. So the real barrier was never your income, your credit, or your listing. It's really the wrong advice, could be the wrong lender, could be the wrong strategy. So let us help you with that right away. So what you actually need, most property owners think they need a buyer to show up or a tenant to show up at the right price and the right time. What you actually need is advice built for your situation. That is exactly what we do. One that doesn't require all that bank paperwork or taking it off the market if it's on the market, and where you can get a same day quote. And every single day, nearly, or every other day, we let you know the status on email. We are on top of it. We only take a limited number of clients every week to make sure of that. And so the results, property owners of vacant 1 to 4 unit properties on less than 10 acres in major metros are getting up to $500,000 cash in their hand. And we are also paying off the liens that are on title to that property in 14 days. No price drop, no tax returns, still on the market or going on market. So we are currently lending in 45 states. We are no longer doing 47 due to there's different laws, right? And right now we cover all states except for, we do not do Nevada, we do not do Minnesota, Vermont, South Dakota, or North Dakota. Those are the 5 that we cannot right now lend in, or we have chosen not to for some regulatory reason. Maybe it's around paperwork, and we really want to make this just super easy for everybody. So this is a done for you process built around how your vacant property actually works, not the way traditional banks want it to work on paper. And so regular homeowners, like I said, you inherited a property, divorced property. Think of all your friends and family who don't know this exists, who maybe are suffering and they're really in pain, they need money. Or they're a builder and they can't sell their builds, or they're a flipper and they can't sell their flip, or they're a landlord and they're having trouble because the area is not so great after they got some improvements done. There's so many people, guys, 12,000 properties in every major metro that you're competing with. And so we have $2.5 billion in loans over 20 years, been a part of those decisions. And that is wonderful because we've gotten a chance to see how that all goes down. Same day quote, independent appraisal, internal underwriting. Yes, these loans, we ask you if you have an LLC, an LP, or a corporation, you can whip one up using LegalZoom or some other kind of firm or company. The reason that we like that is because it doesn't report on your personal credit. And so the more loans that come off of your social security number and they go in your EIN number, the higher your personal credit score goes and the lower your personal debt to income ratio goes. And the only reason that's really important is because we care about you and we want you to be able to flourish. And for this particular property, when it's in an LLC, LP, or corporation, again, this is super simple. We'll help you. It's very easy. They'll take care of it. You get an operating agreement. We're happy to provide financial literacy around this. We have a nonprofit that does that. But basically, it separates out this asset so that way you can get the cash and it does not report on your personal credit when it's paid as agreed. If we're financing your loan payments, of course it's going to be paid as agreed. And then when you sell your property, anything that's left in that escrow account just comes right off of your payoff. And when we finance loan payments, either on a purchase or a cash out, a lot of times we waive off your bank statements. because you don't need reserves because we have financed your reserves. So cash wired to you, monthly payments rolled into the loan in most cases, vacant property insurance if you need it, or if your broker is taking too long, then we just jump right over them and get you, we'll take care of it. You have to approve it, of course, but basically we want to make sure that you have proper insurance, that it meets the standards of the appraisal. If you had to rebuild that property, there are people, unfortunately, that do lose their properties and then they don't have enough insurance. We never want that to happen. And so we really care about you guys long term. And so the call bonus, right? If you book your call right now in the next couple minutes before this ends, we will give you a $250 credit towards your closing cost. And so I will drop this link in the chat right now. So if you want to book a call, you can do that. We only have a limited number, like I said, because we only take a limited number of calls and applicants each week, just to make sure that they are getting the highest level of care and that their loan funds quickly. And so if we do not fund within 14 business days from the time that we get your appraisal, sometimes it's one and the same. Sometimes we have cases where we fund within 10 days, including the order of the appraisal. It just depends on what major metro you're in, 45 states, and how many local appraisers are available. It's much like Uber, where they send someone out who's licensed, the best price, and you accept that appraiser. And so we want to get this done in 10 to 14 days. If we don't, then we will give you an additional $500 credit. Really, in credits, you could end up paying nearly zero in miscellaneous fees, which is our goal for you. We try and make this as wonderful as we can for you. So our guarantee, if we move forward with your bridge loan and we don't get it funded within 14 days through any fault of our own, we give you $500 towards your appraisal cost at close. That commitment doesn't happen by accident. It happens because we built a process we actually believe in and we know it works. This guarantee matters to us. We are accountable. Like I said, 9 out of 10 loans do fund within 14 days. We mean what we say. We're not in the business of making promises we can't keep. The guarantee is our way of showing you that we mean that. And the link is in the chat. So please book a 15-minute call. It's completely no obligation before we fill out for this week or in general, as we are getting busier. And we only take 20 new clients per week, as I said, to maintain the white glove service our clients expect. And when the spots are filled, we do pause. We have unlimited money, billions and billions. However, the service is the most important part, and taking care of our clients, the relationship is really the most important part. So if this feels like what your situation needs, the next step is easy. Please click the link in the chat. Remember, you get $250 off loan fees if you book before this call is over, which will be in just a few minutes. On the call, we're going to look at your property details. So we're actually going to pull it up online. We're going to look and see if the 5-step fast forward system is a fit for your situation. We don't ask for much stuff, but if you are not able to DocuSign a pre-filled out loan application, then this might not be a good fit. And then your same day quote. So basically we're going to give you a range because we need that appraisal to come in. And so rates can be anywhere from 5% to 13%. Compare that to a credit card, which is 29% these days, and then 5 points to get cash out of a credit card. And so this is much better, especially if you have no loan payment and no prepayment penalty, right? And you're getting all this money, changes your life, guys. So hit the link in the chat and let us find out if that property does qualify. And you'll leave the call with a clear answer, of course, a specific loan quote for that property, a step-by-step picture. We actually do send you a 14-day written guarantee, whether you work with us or not, for that particular situation. And it says step-by-step what happens. So that way you are 100% clear how easy this is and what the borrower needs to do versus what we're going to do, because we do mostly everything and we want you to know that. So that way you can just understand how this is all going to happen. On the call, you're going to leave with that understanding. Click below, click the chat to make sure that you book that call. Every week you wait, you're spending what on holding that property? $700, $10,000 a month for however many months this is going to go on for, not knowing what the property actually is worth from a licensed appraiser on the right forms and having cash and no loan payments. We don't want you losing equity due to market conditions or somebody wanting you to do a quick sale. So 1 year from now, you'll either be stuck probably thinking about what to do about that property or have taken quite a haircut on it. Possibly, we don't really know, but we want to put you in control by giving you all the things that you need. You'll be freed by action. So if you take action and you book a call right now, completely free, let us give you all kinds of great stuff specific to your situation and pay off all the debts on the property, get you up to $500,000 and without W returns. You don't have to state where your money comes from. Probably you don't even have to provide bank statements. It's literally a no income, no asset, no loan payment loan. It's so easy, guys, for most people who qualify. And you will know that with a lot of certainty on this call, and then it'll go to the underwriter within a few days. So stuck in the cycle, we don't want that to be you. We want you freed by action. So if you're ready to stop waiting and start getting access to the cash, please, there's so many properties that have so much equity in them. Just book the call. Any questions, please drop them in the chat.